How to snipe in Escape from Tarkov. If you've only been sniping with the Mosin or the VPO, you might be making a huge mistake. So let's talk about which sniper rifle that you should be using, how to have insane accuracy, and how to be effective on each map. Let's start with gun choice. In Tarkov, there are 8 different bolt-action sniper rifles that you can choose from. To save time, I'll put the average price of each bolt-action rifle on the screen, starting with the cheapest. I know what you're thinking, Cisco, why would I pay more when I could just get the VPO for 18,000 rubles and just use the AP rounds? The best answer for that question lies in one of the stats that are often overlooked, ILMOA, or minute of angle. This stat represents the shot grouping size. So simply, the smaller the ILMOA, the more accurate the gun is going to be. Think of it like this. 1 ILMOA is equal to a 1-inch radius circle at 100 yards. So what this means is that if you use a rifle with 1 MOA and you shoot at a target that is 100 yards out from you, your bullet is going to hit somewhere within an inch radius of where you initially aimed. Just like earlier, I'm going to flash the gun prices on the screen, but this time they're organized by their MOA. So to answer that original question from earlier, the VPO can be effective in close quarter combat, but anything at reasonable range, the VPO is going to fail you. My personal go-to bolt action is the DVL, but if you like the SV98 and the T5000, those are fine choices as well. If you have access to the AXMC, you definitely don't need me telling you to use it because you probably already are. All right, let's talk about distances. If you can't accurately judge your distances, it doesn't matter how low your MOA is, you're not hitting your target. I personally struggle with this myself, so that's why I always have at least a rangefinder. You can buy this at Jaeger level 1 for around 9,000 rubles. So I like to keybind it to my 7 key, which allows me to quickly pull it out, get the distance, and zero my scope in. If you haven't zeroed in your scope, the default keys to do that are the page up and page down buttons while you're ADSing. There's another option with rangefinders that I personally love, and that's having the Wilcox Raptor mounted to my gun. What this does is I can actually see the ranges in real time while I'm ADS'd. For this setup to work, you need the Wilcox Raptor, the Racknagel 30mm scope mount, and the Schmidt & Bender 1x8 rifle scope. I'll note as well the Raptor does have a laser device, which can be mounted on guns like the RFB, making it even more accurate to point fire with. This is the part where it's just going to take practice, as there is no one-size-fits-all strategy for each location. So starting off, in order for us to be a good sniper, we also have to be a smart sniper. Quests like Shooter Born in Heaven will force you to go to different maps, and each map has its advantages and disadvantages of using a bolt action. So to be effective, you're going to need to adjust your play style depending on which map you're going to. For example, Reserve and Woods can be tough maps, but for completely different reasons. On Reserve, your best opportunities will be in the first 5 to 10 minutes of the raid. So you'll spawn in, sprint to the closest spot where you can snipe, post up, and take your shots as you see them. Unless Gluhar is up, your kills are going to come quick or not at all. So after about 10 minutes, I usually just head to extract, rinse, and repeat. Woods, for example, your best opportunities will start around 10 minutes into the raid and will last till the very end. Once I spawn in, I slowly start making my way across Woods, and I'm trying to wait until I hear Shturman's SVDS. If I do, I push the camp, get close enough, and just pick PMCs off trying to fight him and his guards. If not, it's still fine. I can move around Woods and go to each of the loot spots, post up, and wait for my targets to come in. With that said, you may go the entire match of Woods and not see a player until there's 15 minutes left in the raid and you're heading to extract. Woods requires patience, moving from cover to cover and making as little noise as possible. Sniping with a bolt action is tough. It also has the most rewarding kills that you can get. So don't give up, keep practicing, and I'll see you in raid. Love y'all.